Hey yo, what it do? What it do? It's your boy Q, and welcome back for our PIEA State Championship for Overwatch 2. We're here at Wilkes University. It's your first time through. Maybe you happen to pop in while we were taking that little bit of a longer break to try and figure out some of our technical difficulties. Thank y'all for chilling out with us for that, by the way. Hanging out with me today, Cherry J, getting ready to hang in and get ready to start with map number 3. Cherry J, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good here. We're going into potentially our final map of this series here. Penn Manor up 2-0. They're going to be going to Suravasa for our third map here today. Looking forward to this a lot.
Suravasa is another one of those map, man. For me, when I play, I know a lot of people like to talk about the sight lines and how the map's laid out. I'm a simple kind of cat. I just like seeing how good the map looks. Suravasa, one of those nice, bright, vibrant colors. Sign me up any day of the week. One thing I did want to talk to you about, though, we talked about it a little bit before we went into that second map, was how Spring Grove is kind of at time has shown the ability to be able to fight and stand toe-to-toe with Penn Manor, but when push comes to shove, Penn Manor shows why they're the best in PIEA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Spring Grove putting up way more of a fight than, one would really expect. A team that was not in the elite division. They did not have a amazing showing last year. This year, they're really bringing it forward. They went 8-0 in the main season. Now they're coming at it. And, obviously they're showing why they're worth it being here.
Let's see if they have the ability. Of course, at this point now, if you are Spring Grove, you do have to pull off the reverse sweep. It is a best of 5. Of course, you can't win 3 maps without winning the first one here. So that's going to be what Spring Grove has to really make sure that they can focus on. I feel like for Penn Manor, they know that they're just on the cusp of being able to secure themselves that spot into that championship, that grand championship that we're going to have finals here in a little bit after, of course, we do the Q3. But, you know, they walked in here into the facility today carrying their trophy from last spring, letting people remember that they're trying to go back to back. And it does seem, at least in the first 2 maps, that they've come here to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming out of the gates here, Mauga composition coming in from Spring Grove. This is a lot like what we've seen them do earlier. They're swapping out the Orisa, which we've seen them do. They like it. Dogma is an Orisa player. We'll see whether or not he's going to be able to commit the same types of activity on this Mauga pick, but they have the same support line, similar DPS line. We'll see how this goes.
Let's see if we can get down to it here and get things rolling. He talked about the Mauga composition, and let's be the first one into point, trying to lead the charge from the front line here. You have to worry about that back end as well, though. You've already got 1 player down. Let's make that 3 players down as Spring Grove absolutely decimates the first team.
Yeah, not losing a single player. You gotta love that so much if you're Spring Grove. Able to make this first little bit of attack happen in your favor here. We'll see whether or not they're gonna be able to maintain this into the next team fight going forward here. But right now, we're seeing Shoonem already swapping over to the Genji.
Already making some switches after the first fight, trying to make some reads and get those recognizations early, because you don't have too much time. Also going to be seeing the Mauga on that Spring Grove, not Spring Grove, but on the Penn Manor either side. That wall is going to let them be able to get too much early access. Already at 50% here in Spring Grove.
Yeah, it is 50%, but this does go fast anyway, and it does seem like it's going to be Penn Manor doing the exact same thing, 0 deaths, and it's just going to be a fantastic team fight, with a phenomenal life from Shoonem.
Yeah, Shoonem had a beautiful play there here and getting close to that ult as well, about 20% away, and it's going to be now Penn Manor start to accrue a little bit of that time here, 20%. One thing that they do have to worry about, you mentioned how fast points go by here in Flashpoint. The fact that we have already seen Spring Grove able to get as high as they have in 1 team fight, that might be the end for that first Flashpoint.
Yeah, and Shoonem already building up the Dragon Blade. There's going to be a Kitsune Rush to move along with it. There's going to be the F-Matrix already shutting down tech instantly here. And with so much damage output coming in with no less than every other ability, it might just be Spring Grove taking this team fight in dominant fashion.
Yeah, looks like good eating to me, man. They come in and absolutely wreck shop. That's going to allow them to regain the possession of the point here. With it being at 75%, I think they should be able to at least come in and get a contest on it. The question becomes how staggered were those last couple of eliminations, right? Because if it's only 5 lost, especially that had to be led by Tech on the Mauga there. You got to make sure they keep things going. You got the cage coming up here as well on either side. Big team fight. As for now, it looks like we're in favor of Penn.
Yeah, Shoonem dropping the Dragon Blade. That's going to be exactly what you need. We saw the May ult. The Blizzard came through. Unfortunately, with Tech dropping his cage fight, it didn't matter that the Blizzard was there because they couldn't shoot them.
Here it is now. First point going to go in favor of Penn Manor. Of course, you got to find yourself off to that next one before the next fight's going to come out here. And you know, you figure for Penn Manor, I feel like for them being able to come in and get that first point secured going to be huge. I actually was a little worried that maybe the longer break, because of the technical difficulties, might have worked in the favor of Spring Grove. We have been seeing them being able to get close in the last couple of maps. Penn Manor looking to try and prove a point, looking to try and make light work of Big. They're going to continue pushing forward here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Spring Grove is able to take this team fight pretty easily here. They do have the Dragon Blade available. There's no ultimates on the side of Penn Manor available. There's been dropped down early. They're going to keep going in aggressively here. And it's going to be the Dogma getting dogged on with no players remaining. This their tank is dead. Can you even try to contest this? That's the question we got to be asking. It seems like the Dogma is going in favor of Penn Manor to start us off.
Tech gonna try and put as much pressure forward here. You've got to be able to buy some additional space here, and that might be enough. You do have a Mauga that is gonna jump right up in front of your face, though, overextending just a bit, and maybe the opening that we did want to see for Spring Grove.
This has happened twice now, where Tech plays a little bit too aggressively, and we just see Spring Grove completely decimate him because of it. They drop that amp and it goes big, and here's gonna be both the supports already dropped down, and they keep going even worse. Shoonem gonna get taken down here, but Penn Manor bringing it back. Oh no, but the Blizzard's here.
Blizzard coming in, let it snow, and Steel trying to keep themselves upright, getting a little bit of additional support. The Beats coming out here as well, and that might be just enough for Penn Manor. You see Dogma's gone down. You've got more players getting ready to fall as well, and if you got just the support left, yeah, you've got plenty of healing, but nobody be able to put output damage, and with 99% being over the side of Penn Manor, looks like they take point number 2.
Yeah, not even allowing a single percentage to go in the favor of Spring Grove there. You gotta love it if you're Penn Manor. They got 2 ultimates online here, and 2 very important ones at that. You have your Dragon Blade, you have your cage fight. That's going to be massive. Obviously, we're gonna be seeing the same thing on the side of Spring Grove here, so who knows? Maybe we'll see what we saw in the first point, where they just counter each other's cage fights. But right now, I mean, oh my gosh, I think that we could just be seeing a massive win from Penn Manor going through here.
Yeah, Penn Manor, like I said, they walked in with the trophy, and they're looking to prove a point here in this first opening series of the day. You figure if you're able to walk away with a 3-0, that's a great way to build yourself a little bit of momentum. There's those dual cage fights that you were talking about there. The one lasting just a hair bit longer for Tech as more players continue to fall from Spring Grove. It looks like Penn Manor going to get control on point number 3.
Yeah, we're just watching an anime battle right now. Both sides dropping in with the Dragon Blade cage fights as well. And right now, I mean, Penn Manor, they're taking this so aggressively.
Manor have come out here, and they have definitely been locked on in already at that 20%. You figure here at this point for Spring Grove, you've got maybe 2 team fights depending on how long this first one does last, as we are already quickly closing on that 40%. For Spring Grove, your run at the PIEA Spring Championship here might be just about wrapped up.
Yeah, absolutely, and it seems like that might just be the case. Dogma already getting taken down, and with all of these players getting staggered here, a fight might not even be available for them. I mean, 60% being found. You need to be able to touch, and you need to be able to do it now, but with somebody with this Reaper, okay, Reaper is just gonna realize he needs to get out of here, and he needs to get out fast.
Don't want to get staggered out too much. And what's funny is we're sitting here right next to the gaming arena, and you can hear them in there. They're saying bye. They're waving them off as they're stepping off the map here. And it does look like Penn Manor going to be making very light work of things. Last chance forward with Doofus trying to come in, guns ablaze, and able to find the opening on the first, running low on health, and as much as it looks like they were able to put up a fight, it looks like Penn Manor able to prove while they're the #1 seed.
Yeah, there's going to be the Ant Matrix coming through here, but the Ant Matrix can't do anything when there's going to be a Dragon Blade coming right at you. Dogma getting shut down. There's going to be the May of this final player, and that's going to be it. A 3-0 in the favor of Penn Manor.
A 3-0 sweep here. So that's 3 straight maps over on the side of Penn Manor in order to take down Spring Grove. And that's going to allow them to secure their spot in that grand finals here later today. Of course, we do have to figure out who they're going to be playing up against. We have another semifinals matchup that's going to be coming up right up after this one. I know we've been running just a little bit behind as far as our technical difficulties here and everything as well. So I don't know if we're going to be doing an interview out of this game. We might just be moving straight into that second series. Make sure you don't go nowhere. We'll be back with more PIEA state championships after a quick break. Hey, yo, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q, man. We're back here at Wilkes University after our first semifinals matchup here for our PIEA State Championship. Getting a chance to talk with Dogma here. They're from Spring Grove. First off, congratulations on being able to make it this far, man. Being able to get yourself into a top 4 teams in here. I'm kind of curious, what was the thought process? I mean, you were going against a team that, let's be honest, everyone in PIEA knows, right? Penn Manor, a team that's only lost 1 game in the last 2 years. What does the preparation look like going into a series like that?
I mean, just trying to stay focused on keeping our game up.
Yeah.
Just being able to keep ourselves together.
As far as in the game itself, it definitely seemed like, especially a couple of times for those first 2 maps, that it seemed like at times y'all were able to really pull back. You were able to make sure you're almost stepping toe-to-toe with, the beast, right? You're able to kind of get yourself really close on those first couple of points in the first couple of maps. You're able to push the distance on map 2. Being able to go and see some success, but still not quite seeing it on the scoreboard. What's it take to be able to keep like that composition with the team as far as mentally?
I mean, again, it's just sometimes everybody's mental breaks sometimes.
Right.
I mean, it can't be a struggle. We definitely did our best and we've shown through sometimes. Put all the way.
So I don't want to make any assumptions with the T-shirt, but you are a senior, correct?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I didn't want to, just jump into anything here. And if I'm not mistaken, you've been on the team 3-4 years here for the Overwatch squad. What has it really meant to be with this core for so long to be able to see, especially at this point, make it thus far, right? How does it feel to be able to say, hey, we ended things top 4 in the state?
I mean, I'm proud.
Yeah?
I'm proud to see growth, see everybody together. I think go.
I love it. Well, before we get you up on out of here, especially for all the parents and the fans at home that are, watching you guys and have made the trip out this far, is there anything you want to say to them? Have a good summer. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you so much, Dogma. You have yourself a good one. I'm going to steal this headset from you. I know you're also holding the thing here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chat real quick here. We have got Shuma from Penn Manor here. What's going on, man? Shoonem. I keep saying that. I've done that wrong 3 times, man. I apologize. He's like, make sure you get it right, though, because it's on the back of my jersey. My bad. Now, here, after that last series, first off, congratulations. A sweep there in that last the series. I know it's something that you guys normally go through a lot. Is it get to a point where that becomes just the expectation, or what does it mean at that point when it comes to like setting yourself up for success the next series?
Our expectation this season has been
You're good.
Our expectation this season has been not drop a map. We want to sweep. Was trying to. We even a lot of this before. Different.
Right.
Style.
Okay. So we haven't seen too much as far as from the squad this time around. Now that you guys have gotten yourself a spot into the championship here, you've seen yourself as far as lock the spot in. What does this next couple hours look like? Are you guys going to be kind of getting together? Are we going to be sitting down watching the stream, trying to get a little bit of peek at the next squad? What's up?
Yeah, definitely. Ideas are what's. You know a lot about these. We're.
I love it. So, Shoonem, I know you said that you've played them both. You beat them both, right? You're looking for the perfect sweep. If you had to pick one that you wanted to play for the hardware this year, who would you want to see win this next series? CB South?
We for flag. It's we're all friends. We like the. Not saying but South work ethic, practice.
All right, well, you heard us here first. Hopefully, he's seeing CB South, but maybe might be seeing effort. We got to figure out which one of these two squads is going to be playing up against Penn Manor in that championship later today. We'll be figuring that out here next. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back after a break. Hey, yo, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q. And look, I know I promised, I said that we were going to be going into the game after a break. We're going to be doing that in just a minute, but we figured while our players are getting ready here, we'd sit down and talk with the coaches. But they don't have a coach for CB South. So I'm sitting here chatting with Patrick here, the team captain. Patrick, you are now one series away from being able to call yourself a state champion here with the PIEA. But I was kind of curious, obviously, getting ready to go into a matchup against a team like Penn Manor who have this prestige around them. They haven't dropped a series yet this season. They've only dropped one in the last 2 years. What's the conversation looked like with the squad? Not just today, but in the week getting prepped up for this week.
Conversation? Well, definitely just practice every day. We've been practicing some certain comps and strategies to go against Penn Manor. We're definitely some nerves coming in here, but I think we really just have to play well.
I just realized I can't remember if I called them Penn Trafford or Penn Manor. I've made that mistake like 2 times. I know I've got people all concerned about it. I'm so sorry. But for Penn Manor, yeah, they're a squad that comes in with quite a bit of prestige. So for you guys, you walked away with a pretty good win there earlier to be able to secure your spot here in the grand finals. What's it take to be able to tell the squad that, hey, this ain't Ephrata though. This is Penn Manor. Has there been something for today that you felt like has been an extra motivating factor other than the fact that they get to raise a trophy, or does it mean something special to do against a team that does have this type of approach?
Well, I know we actually practiced a lot against Penn Manor to prepare for this day, and we really just want to beat them because almost every time we practice them, they've kind of just beaten us. So we're really hoping to get back today.
Looking to get back here. All right, well, we have probably about 5-10 minutes before we get ready to get kicked off. I know the team doesn't necessarily get a chance to watch this, but I know they're going to go back and watch the VOD. So any last words of encouragement for future CB South heading into this last grand final?
Good luck. You got it.
All right, fantastic. Well, Patrick, good luck here, man. Hopefully we'll be able to see you hosting that trophy here at the end. But let's go ahead and bring in our other coach here. We'll go ahead and let you get ready for your match here. We've got our Penn Manor, not Trafford, Penn Manor, not Trafford, Penn Manor, not Trafford. I've made that mistake only once. How you doing, Coach? Thanks for coming in and spending a little bit of time with us here today. Obviously, the squad here, you guys have gotten here throughout the course of this season. You haven't dropped a series. Kind of curious, what do the talks look like heading into a series like this to go, hey, we didn't come this far just to come this far?
Yeah, so what I would say is that this is a team that has worked incredibly hard over the past year to be better. They have been working incredibly hard to just try and be something more than they were previously. We have 2 players who've been with this team. One in particular, the team captain, Tech, has been with this team since his freshman year. He came and visited us in the inception year of our program at Penn Manor.
Wow, okay.
He was a middle schooler and said, I want to be a part of this. And he and Steele, who is the main support of our team, they're both graduating this year. And they have one championship under their belt. But this is a team that's incredibly skilled. I think, a big, it's on the minds, of course, of everyone in this league. Penn Manor, how do we beat Penn Manor?
Right.
And they want to go out, on top. They want to go out in style. They want to go out proving like that wasn't a fluke. We are actually the best team. This league is never going to see a roster like this ever again. It's incredibly stacked. They're incredibly skilled. They're incredibly dedicated both to the game as well as to each other. And I honestly, it makes me sad to see them go. I don't know how I'm going to do this without them.
Yeah. I'm
excited for the future as well, but they are so concerned, so focused on making sure that they get this right, that they stick this landing, because this is it. This is the last game. They're never doing this again. They're never going to be this team again.
Well, I know they came in looking to make a moment of it as well. I knew as soon as I saw them walking down the hallway with that trophy from last year, right? They came in here with a game plan. They want to be able to walk out of here with 2 of them things, be able to do this thing one time, for the one time here. So
For
I
sure.
do kind of want to ask you. You brought it
Yeah.
up, man. Everyone is trying to take down Penn Manor when it comes
Yeah.
to Overwatch 2, right? So
Mhm.
to always walk into a series with that target on your back as the coach, what does that do as far as to, I guess, how do you kind of stay ahead of the fact of these boys getting to the fact that they're in their head to the point of, oh, we're the best, nobody can beat us? What do you
Yeah.
do? What do those conversations look like as a coach?
I'm glad you recognize it, and that trophy wouldn't be here if that wasn't going on. So to be honest, I try to keep them focused on where they do have mistakes and flaws and things that they can build on. Look, I can't convince them that they're not the best team in the league.
Right.
Because they
numbers show otherwise.
factually are.
Right.
But I can't lie to them. They're pretty smart. So instead, we even had a conversation after a scrim with CB South where I was talking about, like, look, here's the flaws you had. Here's why these things are wrong. Like, let's talk about, like, how you need to be thinking through this and what value we can gain from this. And, just try and keep them humble in terms of, like, you can always be better. You can always grow. Yes, you're great. You've earned the right to be called that. They worked hard. This isn't an accident. But at the same time, they have to always be thinking about, okay, well, what's the next thing? And, to their credit, they do that. I mean, I overheard the captain for CBSS saying we scrim against them regularly, right?
Right.
Penn Manor doesn't have to do that. They are also working their butts off every week. They were scrimming on Friday.
Wow. Okay.
And again, they're the number 1 seed. They're
Right.
undefeated. They haven't
Dropped a series, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they lost up until recently not even a single point, really,
Right.
with someone full capping them. And yet they still scrimmed against whatever team they could find that they thought would give them the challenge they needed. And that's the kind of dedication. Honestly, I wish I was more like them. They're incredibly dedicated to being better.
Well, we're probably only about 3, 4, maybe less. Hopefully not too much longer than that. Maybe 5 minutes away from getting this grand finals kicked off. I'm sure you've already had a conversation with the squad, but we also know that teams go back and watch VODs. I'm sure they're also going to watch this interview as well.
Yeah.
Any last bit of information, words, anything like that to the squad before y'all go out there and try and win a second?
Be the great people that I know that you are in every way. Here, today, tomorrow, years to come.
I love it. Well, y'all just heard it there from the coach. We have one more series here today at Wilkes University. Someone gets to walk away and call themselves not only a state champion, but they get some pretty cool hardware on the way as well. So we'll bring that last matchup to y'all. Penn Manor versus CB South right after a quick break. Hey, yo, what it do? It's your boy Q, and it's that time, baby. It's championship time. To enter the arena, only one gets to hoist the trophy and call themselves a state champion here in the PIEA. We're doing Overwatch 2 today. If y'all are showing up for Super Smash Bro, still make sure you're hanging out, but that's tomorrow. But we have ourselves 2 teams, 2 squads that have quite a bit of prestige around them. Starting off, of course, with CB South. We talked to their captain here about 10 minutes ago, but they're going to have quite a bit of a mountain to climb. They're playing against a squad that has lost just 1 series over the course of the last 2 years. They haven't lost a series this year. Heck, they haven't even lost but a couple of points over the course of the entirety of the 2024 season. And of course, that is Penn Manor. Penn Manor looking to go back-to-back. Not only are they here to prove a point just in the fact that they are champions, they already walked in with their trophy from last year, and they want to leave with 2 of them things.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going at it with 2 Titans today. 2 teams. One's going to take in it all. You gotta love it. We'll see whether or not CB South is going to take away that championship title from Penn Manor, who is they're running for 2 times in a row. But as of now, it's still anyone's games.
We got to talk to that Penn Manor coach just a moment ago before the break, wanting to, clean things up with the back-to-back. Has 2 seniors that he would like to be able to send off into the sunset when it comes to high school esports with the back-to-back championships. And it does look like here we're going to be hanging out at the beach a little bit here for the start of things on Control. I'm always a big fan of that. But we also talked about it before. Control, this is where teams start to kind of warm things up. The gunnies, the comms, and I think especially in the case of CB South, they need map number 1.
Absolutely. Coming at it right now. We'll see whether or not this is going to be changing up. Looking at these compositions, we are coming out with some crazy stuff. Lifeweaver, Lucio. already some interesting compositions. We'll see if that Life Weaver switches or whether or not they're planning on sticking to their guns. And yep, that's going to be swapped. Pretty standardized stuff.
All right. Looks like we got ourselves a quick pause here as well. I'm sure we'll be able to get that done quick, fast, and in a hurry here. But, you know, I can't help but wonder, you know, we have something like this going down. You have the pause for our players. You got to make sure that you can keep the mental together. Looks like it should be just a very quick pause here, though. Already getting our players back on into action. One thing that we did talk about during the Ephrata series, which I know you were playing in, not here in the booth, was that we don't really see too much of a composition change often from that CB South squad. So I'm going to be kind of intrigued to see if they've got any extra tricks up their sleeves, especially against the best of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into here, immediately here, there's only a Tracer swap that's different here. Already able to find that instant pick onto IJV, taking out the speed boost. Gonna be nice, but with both tanks traded out immediately here, you wonder, is CB South gonna be able to keep this lead up?
Wait and see if they got the lead up here, see if they can figure things out. As far as this first point, does go in favor of CB South, but it doesn't take long for Penn Manor to then get the control. And it's Shoonem right now trying to, a little bit of extra magic, have pushing forward, trying to get themselves a pick. And the farther they push forward, the less pressure that can be put on the point. That number just continues to tally up.
Yeah, immediately here coming at it. There is going to be a Deadeye available. First ultimate of the game here. Sowpoke is not even close to his, but Tech is, you know, both tanks, they're just trying to absorb the damage. They're not really able to output it themselves here. We'll see if that's going to change, but as of now, it's a little bit of a stalemate, and that's going to keep... It seems like Penn Manor is potentially going to be able to lose this point, but I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like it's hectic over there in the gaming arena as for now. It's the loudest that we've heard that gaming arena in a little while. Both teams firing those comms back and forward. Still contested here, and it still does continue to allow Penn Manor to tally and add to that here as well. 60% gone by. However, Shoonem is going to go down. Able to find the Tracer response.
Yeah, immediately 2 players already down for CB South. There's going to be the Kitsune Rush utilized here, already falling down as well. There's going to be Sowpoke, and ending out this fight, it's going to keep going in the forward for Penn Manor.
There it is. That's going to be Penn Manor. Still has the advantage. And you figure with 70% now gone by, it's going to be just one more attempt at the team fight here for CB South. There, want to make sure that they don't over-push here. You can see Artie just put a little bit of additional spray, peppering from a distance. But they got to find some way to really start to dwindle away that health bar on, well, really anybody on the side of Penn Manor, because they've kept everyone upright and vertical for a while.
Yeah, there's the Annihilation. Coming down immediately. Sowpoke getting shut down. There's going to be Thanatos as well, getting ended up. BoiledTDLR going to be next, and that's going to be a instant team fight. And round number 1 instantly going to the favor of Penn Manor.
There it is. You can even hear them wooing and cheering next door. Penn Manor takes objective point number 1. Of course, this is still the best of 5 like we have been seeing played throughout the day here. Being able to secure themselves the first point. They are halfway there when it comes to this first map. You can't help but wonder as far as for them, if they can start things off with the sweep against the, well, number 2 seed, if that just has you already living life in the fast lane.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple swaps coming in immediately. BoiledTDLR swapping over to the Echo pick, something that he has been super proficient on all year. IJV moving over to the Mercy. We'll see if that's going to be sticking through here, but as we've seen, they do like to mess around with their characters. That Life Weaver is still here. We'll see whether or not they're going to stay on that. But it's really like, I don't know how you could. You can't play funny against a team like CB South, as I have learned. But we'll see if Penn Manor thinks differently.
Penn Manor, couple of seconds away. Last 10 seconds to prepare for the second point. And for Penn Manor, I feel like for them, they probably have the objective of mine to try and make this first map as quick as possible. We just talked with the coach, and for them, it's been about making sure that they can continue to just more keep their eyes on the prize. Literally swimming as early as this past Friday, not trying to take any time off even before the travel. They wanted to make sure that they were armed up and ready to go, and they have been showing that they are just that here today.
Yeah, absolutely. BoiledTDLR already getting shut down. There's going to be him swapping over to Genji. There's going to be another pick coming out. Shoonem getting traded out. However, that's not enough. With Braden falling down, you have nothing left to give, but they're still going to be doing it. IJV getting shut down. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard, but it seems like CB South is scraping this away.
They've been able to slowly figure things out. Tech's now going to go down here as well, and CB South now have control of this point. You can see tried to push forward up into where the respawn was going to be, but then a quick turnaround. I think for them wanting to make sure that they don't get caught overextended.
Yeah, you know, this is exactly what you love to see in the finals. CB South able to make their contest here after losing round number 1. They're coming back on the Genji, and they're coming back strong, making this all in their favor.
Now it's going to be a control in favor of Penn Manor. They've got the point here. Ramatra on the point here, currently getting chased and pushed back by Sowpoke. On the Junker Queen, still sitting at about 50% of the life pool, is going to have to fall on back. How it is going to be Shoonem pushing forward, trying to find those off angles, and is going to be able to find Sowpoke.
Yeah, fantastic play there from Penn Manor to regain the point early on in the fight, take down the rest of this team, and completely bring it back for them. Right now, we're going to be seeing that Lucio Beep available, and they also have the Rampage Sowpoke, somebody who has been so proficient with this ability. I've seen it firsthand, him being able to completely set himself up. And I mean, obviously, there is going to be steel with that cleanse available to completely shut him down. But if he can play this correctly, it's going to be really good for him.
Gonna have to try and find out when this squad can push all together. You can see Sowpoke waiting for the right opportunity. However, that is Vortex there, gonna at least shut down the Rule 1 passage. Everyone gonna try and push through towards the right. Sowpoke, though, does fall. That's the big juicy mama. That means it's only going to be the squishies left behind. Tech gonna push forward with the rest of the squad, and that should allow them to continue to put down the opposition.
Yeah, that's both supports falling down right there, and that's just gonna be the fight. With no time left, I mean, there's nothing you can do. CB South, they need to touch, and they need to touch now, because right now it's just not looking possible.
Basically gonna have to have somebody force their way onto the point just to force the overtime, and then probably gonna have to play a 4v5 to be able to find themselves a return pick if they're going to stand a chance. You do have one already down. Second one, Braden going to fall as well, and right now it is Shoonem just absolutely able to put down the work with the revolver, and it is going to be first point in favor of Penn Manor. Our first map in favor of Penn Manor.
Yeah, Shoonem does not die. He does not lose. He's going to be able to finish off BoiledTDLR. He tried pulling out the Dragon Blade, but there was nothing in it to destroy this man. His Deadeye is too strong, forcing him out, taking down the fight, and honestly, I think this is Penn Manor's game to win. I mean, how can you even say that CB South has a chance after that annihilation?
Yeah, I mean, the way that that first map went definitely looks like CB South is going to have quite the mountain to climb here, quite the challenge for them in this grand final matchup. Penn Manor, I mean, they just seemed like a well-oiled machine.
Absolutely. I mean, how can you even like vote against them right now? Night Pika making his shots happen. Steel, IGV, keeping their tank up. Tech, I mean, anytime you see him die, it's him taking down Sowpoke with him. There was nothing wrong with this team. And Shoonem is, I mean, he's just the glue to keep it together.
I mean, really everyone kind of holding their piece and holding their responsibility as well, as far as making sure that everyone is really kind of filling a lane. And for Penn Manor here, I mean, you got the first one on the board. You're now 2 maps away from being able to call yourself back-to-back champions. And if that first map was any indication, we were talking about maybe not having a sweep for our first series of the day. Who knows with the way that first one.
Yeah, I mean, these are two Titans coming number 1 and number 2 in the Elite Division. You'd assume that CB South, especially after winning the Fall Brawl, would have that more experience on them. But unfortunately, that just doesn't seem to be the case right now.
I think right now you just have Penn Manor, who truly do have their eyes set on the prize. You know, we talked with the coach, 2 seniors that they wanted to be able to send out on top, being able to go back-to-back last spring, and then an opportunity to here as well. I think the big thing for me when sitting down with their coach was the talks of the legacy, right? It's not just about being able to say, hey, you're champions here today. They want this Overwatch squad to be one that's talked about in PIEA for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think that this is going to be their peak form. I mean, they have 3 sophomores on their team, and they're still rolling everybody. I mean, there's no even debate that this is probably going to be the best team we've seen in PIEA history.
Question just becomes, can they finish things out here? I mean, they've definitely been cruising here today. The coach was talking about they hadn't even relinquished a point until, just a little bit here recently. So this is a team that, came in with a game plan. It does look like they've done a very good job of sticking to it thus far. For CB South, though, you'll wonder if for CB South, if you have the ability to come out and not only steal a map, but do it in somewhat convincing fashion here in map number 2, if maybe that might be enough against Penn Manor to put them onto their back foot and put you right back into the series.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no debate that they have improved in this season. So I can't ever count them out. Obviously, if you see their match against Penn Manor in the main season, they are a completely different team already seen. I mean, at the very start, we saw BoiledTDLR, on Tracer, messing up. It was not fun. And now we see this man completely, contesting, making fights happen, shutting Penn Manor down at times. This team is too good, and they're improving on the daily basis.
When you have a team like that that's able to continue to find ways to get better, it can be a scary sight. I mean, really, same thing can even be said for this Penn Manor squad, which I think has been kind of the hard thing when it comes to seeing that gap closing, is because as much as CB South and other teams continue to try and push up and higher, this Penn Manor squad, there has been no complacency this year. They just continue to aim to become the best version of themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, they're not losing, and if it's not failing, why change it? And I mean, so far it does seem like we might be going to Hollywood here. We'll see if the dive composition is going to be coming out from either of these teams. Obviously, last year Penn Manor was a different team. They were playing a insane dive composition. I remember that in the semifinals. Their Oasis in general was fantastic. Their other maps were fantastic. But right now, I mean, we'll see if this is going to change. Obviously, this composition coming through is both teams playing relatively similarly.
Well, it's time that we go straight to the Wild Wild West. Another one of those maps that I really do love the aesthetic of whenever you happen to load in. Unfortunately, neither of these teams here are going to have much of a time to enjoy that aesthetic because they've got too many people on the other side of the lobby that are wanting to try and get into some action here. But getting ready for map number 2 for Penn Manor. I mean, they started off strong, right? They're going to be starting on, it looks like, the offensive end here as well. You get to set the pace, and this is a team that we know likes to push at the distance. They're going to try and see if they can do that here.
Yeah, immediately Lucio on Lucio action, speeding his team through this point. IJV starting out on the attack, Penn Manor. We'll see if they're able to make something happen. Pushing left side immediately here, forcing the points to be even closer to him. We'll see how well this works.
Here we go, first pick already being found, and it is on to Tech. So, of course, with that being the tank, that does go down. They're going to be just a little bit more passive here. You see them taking a couple of quick peeks, but nothing crazy as for yet. They want to make sure that they can push coordinated.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll see whether or not anything changes here. There's going to be the push coming through again, finding their way onto the point here. The contest is still there. There's going to be the cleanse coming out immediately here with already falling down. There's going to be the trade, though, with Shoonem. somebody who's been playing so well. This might give you a little bit of a comfort boost with a 3K or CB South. Insanely proficient on the Queen compositions. And they're just going to roll their way through.
And we can hear them through the wall right now. They are pumped. That's going to be a team wipe. We're on that side of CB South that we talked about for this Penn Manor squad. The prestige keeps getting brought up. They know that they're good. Everyone knows that they're good. But that doesn't stop CB South from stepping up and punching them in the mouth.
Absolutely, absolutely. Coming at it even more. We're going to be seeing BoiledTDLR taking the right side here. Unfortunately, the entire side of Penn Manor playing on the high ground. We'll see whether or not they're going to be able to find that opening pick here. But with all the bombs coming out on Glenn's already being utilized, copying into the Cassidy. Let's see whether or not they're going to be able to find that pick. But alrighty, already CB South ruining their chances. But the comeback comes through, finding a 2K of their own. IJV dropping the beat. And there's going to be the copy. BoiledTDLR no longer having that extra life. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, pushing forward. Did you get caught too far forward though? No. Has plenty of help here behind him. BoiledTDLR rocking the echo. Tries to get a little bit of damage from the sky where they could. And now for this team, they just have to fall back through this doorway once more and wait for the offense to push forward.
Yeah, this is already looking so much better for CB South immediately here. They have a Cassidy ult on the side of Penn Manor, but with the beat already being available, they can just drop that and win this fight.
Beats that gets dropped into play here, and now for CB South to lose their echo. Now they're gonna lose Sowpoke here as well. Already about to fall, and the fisticuffs get broken out by Tech. The rest of the squad trying to follow suit here as well. That should be enough to be able to get them the control of this point, but with just 50 seconds on the clock, now obviously going to be bumped up to that 3-minute marker. They're already playing from behind just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure what happened there for CB South. They dropped 2 support ultimates and still failed to be able to reclaim that point. But fortunately for them, they're finding out Tech, and that's going to be Artie finding his way back into this fight.
Here it is. Artie found his way back into this fight, and it's going to be up to the rest of the squad from CB South to hold the line, trying to prevent this thing from making the turn at the first corner. And for them, they're trying to set the bar as close to the starting line as possible so when they turn around. Squad Penn Manor, they're going to set their way through. Sowpoke to be able to find one. That's one of your support players as well. This could be big for them in this team fight, but they keep falling back.
Yeah, that's not very good whatsoever. Tech going to be able to drop that Annihilation, and they don't even need to drop any other ults. Fortunately, though, for CB South, they didn't really invest much. They're going to be coming up on the Rampage. They have the overclock. They're not going to have their copy for a while, but that's not the worst part about this. Without your support ults, this really is going to be very difficult to win. 4 ults on the side of Penn Manor. This is their map to win.
Definitely feels like Penn Manor in a pretty solid spot. Took them a little bit there, a little slow out of the gates. I think that's a fair observation, but since they've started moving, they have not stopped here. And now it's going to be Sowpoke, Artie, and now BoiledTDLR as well, all going to fall. It's Shoonem who continues to shoot him, and it's going to be another team kill.
Yeah, unfortunately for Penn Manor there, they only need to invest 2 ultimates. The overclock was used, the Kitsune Rush was used. They still have the Deadeye, which we've seen is detrimental to CB South. And they're also going to be coming up on the beat here. Obviously, right now, we're going to be seeing some ultimates coming up for CB South as well. They have the overclock to try and counter this. But that Rampage is what they really need here.
Rampage could be absolutely huge for them. However, it is Penn Manor. They don't have too far to go. What? 1 turn and then just to send this thing on home. Maybe, just maybe, one more big team fight. You can see over on the side of CB South, they seem to recognize that. They're playing a little bit more passive. They're backing up to the doorway. They're conceding more space, but they still have not found a way to find the first pick, trying to find it on somebody in the back line now. Shoonem going to fall, and that might be the opportunity that was needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Already gonna be able to find a second there. There's gonna be Sowpoke with a knife, getting a third. Steel dropping down, and CB South lives another day.
South's going to be able to keep this fight alive for a little bit longer here, but with 1 minute and 55 seconds here left, they've got to hold the line, and they've got to do it for quite a bit of time. And now on the high ground, you do have Boiled Toddlers trying to keep an eye out for things, potentially trying to push their way up there. Was a player from the side of Penn Manor, not going to be able to find their way on up, but they have been able to find their way towards the point. Sowpoke gonna fall, and the rest of the dominoes should as well.
Yeah, that's not good whatsoever. Sowpoke falling down early, and that's gonna be the final fight. The Deadeye gets that, the 2 afterwards, and round 1 done with 1 minute 28. That's not good whatsoever. We'll see if there's gonna be any type of change. As we've seen, I mean, Penn Manor, their defense looks way worse than their attack, so I would not count CB South out just yet.
Yeah, we did see Penn Manor allow the opposition to push it all the way across in their first matchup of the day, just for them to still be able to turn things around on the opposition. So now they've done a good job of pushing it all the way. There's 1 minute 28 seconds left. Again, I was a little concerned for this Penn Manor squad. It looked like a little slow out the gates. Maybe CB South had the answers. You talked about their dive composition potentially having some success on this map, and although they haven't been able to do so thus far, you figure here on a defense, or sorry, yeah, here on this defense, they've got to find some way to figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna see how this goes here. Obviously, we're gonna be seeing Boiled Toddler swapping over to the Genji here. We've seen it on map 1. We'll see if it happens on map 2 just as well.
Final seconds here, and it's going to be CB South going to have to push it the distance. And remember, for them, since it was pushed the distance over on the side of Penn Manor, the time not really so important. What's just important is the fact that you can get it to the end line. The time is the bonus.
Yeah, already Boiled Toddler jumping up onto the high ground. There's going to be the second one coming up with him there. 2 people playing up here. They're going to be able to find their first little bit of damage. Unfortunately, no picks are coming through from it, but it almost happens. Shoonem getting to a detrimental HP on.
Shoonem getting relatively close here, getting kind of scary, but doesn't fall quite yet. However, Shoonem finds one, Steel finds another. Let's make that 2 for Steel. And it's going to be a 2 versus 4 here for now, as South doesn't have too much at their disposal. Already, though, going to be able to make a play, however, getting caught out and already going to pay in exchange.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, though. Being able to completely stagger Shoonem away from his team, he has to get back, and he's on Cassidy, somebody who has a role, and that's about it for his mobility. We'll see if this is going to be able to change, but as of now, I mean, oh, no. Boiled Toddler, he's coming in, and he's coming in for blood. He's got that dash. He's going to try and get up to the high ground here, but no, he's diverging away.
Urging away here, and then wonder maybe what the call is as far as for that. And, you know, as much as I would be concerned that it's taking a little bit of time for CB South to cap this point in order to make the push, let's not forget that for Penn Manor, they had similar struggles. And it does seem like they are starting to get things figured out. But they got to make sure they continue to find some picks here, because as for now, Sowpoke's going to fall, and the rest is going to be in trouble.
You know, I'm actually so sad that that didn't work. I'm pretty sure that this was the play I was told about that happened in scrims against Penn Manor, where CB South, they completely fake them out there, make them think that they're going to go behind the point, and then just completely go the other way and go forward. If they were just able to if they just got those shots off, they 100% win that fight. And that's so disappointing that they don't.
Now, this is going to be where things become important for the mental. One thing that we talked about earlier in the day in a different matchup was if you have a game kind of turn up on its head, the way that this has thus far, Penn Manor able to push the distance. They were able to do so relatively easy once they captured the point. And Penn Manor were then in turn to be able to shut down CB South, prevent them from even moving this thing a centimeter. Well, then you're in some troubles. You start questioning things over on that CB South side, beats out onto either side to help with sustainability. Neither team able to find a big gap.
Yeah, Sowpoke dropped the commanding shout. There's going to be the first pick coming out onto Brayden. That's not good for him whatsoever. With this point starting to get capped again, the rampage comes through. There's going to be both supporters taken down. Unfortunately, Artie's going to get traded out, but Sowpoke doesn't die, and he's finding his 3 and finding his point.
It's going to be big, gives him the control of the point. And of course, in turn for that, not only do you get control of the cart, you get a little bit more time here as well. We talked about how there wasn't much time over on the clock when Penn Trafford got the control. So you do got to keep that in the back of your shuttle here for a moment. But there's one thing that we know about Penn Trafford. They don't lose team fights too often.
Absolutely
Penn
not.
Manor. Penn Manor. I made that mistake again.
But at this point, Penn Manor, they are losing with Shoonem dying early. That is not what you want to see whatsoever. And BoiledTDLR, he is confident. He's ready to go for more. He has all his abilities on cooldown, and he's jumping up, and he's finding his way onto that Ramatra copy. And there's IJV falling down.
It is. You got the copy of the Ramatra. The fisticuff's going to get broken out here as well, trying to buy some additional space. BoiledTDLR starting to run low on the time. Back into the Echo form here as well. It feels like enough was bought with that copy.
Oh, of course. But even before that, they found Shoonem so early on, and that's exactly what you want to see. There's going to be a Kitsune rush, but that's about it. Maybe we'll see the high noon come out. Maybe we'll see that annihilation being used in this fight. But besides those, they don't have much, but they find the early pick onto Thanatos.
They continue pushing their way here forward as well. Tech continue pushing on. Steel, the only one down over on that Penn Manor side. And they have done a great job of taking this push and bringing it to an absolute halt. And with 95 seconds here left on the clock, they start to have some doubt creep into the back of the minds over on that CV South. Because things were going great, but now their spawn going to be so far away since they were so close to that second objective.
Yeah, that's so disappointing that they were unable to just finish it out early on. Shoonem, he has a high noon. Tech's gonna have the annihilation. As we've seen, Tech can go huge with the annihilation. He doesn't need any supporting ults like what you'd see with a beat. But IJV falling down early. BoiledTDLR making the opening picks here. We'll see if that's gonna translate to a win, which as we've seen in previous rounds has.
Continuing to move forward, the high ground continuing to go unpunished for Artie, but of course, as I say that, Artie does fall, but it looks like might have been able to find just enough of an opening. One's gonna fall there. That should be enough off of that play to secure the second objective point and buy themselves some more time as well.
Yeah, Shoonem using the Deadeye there, trying to make his team get something, but killing Thanatos just makes BoiledTDLR come for you. And he's gonna do it in a dominant fashion, taking the point. They just need to take this. They're in a very good situation.
I think some people might argue, though, that second objective point, one of the easier ones to capture, right? Now moving into number 3, you've got a couple of twists and turns that you're going to need to be able to get by. And we're at about that point again, 90 seconds gonna be left on the clock. See Sowpoke trying to lead the charge from the front, is going to try and see what sort of room they can buy for the rest of the squad, but has to worry about standing up, and they were just about taken out.
Yeah, and there's gonna be the fight going in favor of Penn Manor once more here. Overclock being utilized. It's gonna find everything. And BoiledTDLR falling down, unable to get back to his spawn. This could be bad with such little time remaining. I mean, if you bring this to overtime, you are going to be in such a bad position since you will not be able to win this map. Obviously, you can get a tie-in, but that's not what you want. You want to be able to take these, and that's kind of what you need.
Here we go. You can see still pretty well stuck towards the front end of this objective point. So Poke to be able to land one, looking to try and turn the corner, find a second, but the shield going to keep that at bay. So Poke has to make sure that they can stay upright here. Has a little bit of extra sustainability for now. BoiledTDLR, who does get close to falling. You've already lost one of your healers as well. They're running out of time.
Yeah, Shoonem dying down, unfortunately, for Penn Manor. Without that DPS, that might be something that's going to cause a little bit too many problems, but the rampage comes through. There's Nightpika, there's Tech, And I think that despite this going into overtime, they might just be able to finish this off.
Like there was going to be a chance at some overtime there, but they got to make sure that they continue pushing here. They got them pushed up, backs against the wall. There it is!
But with Shoonem already finished out, you have your tank on point. There's gonna be Night Pika falling though. There's gonna be Artie, however, they're not done yet. Will this potentially be going into a third round? The chances are here. It's going to be another kill. There's Annihilation coming out early though.
The Spawn's working to their advantage though. When they fall, they get back into the fight so much quicker. They have the ability to hold the line. Steel, no one is looking at him, has the ability for the free pickings, and Penn Manor are able to hold them off at the finish line.
Penn Manor absolutely annihilating them when it matters, finishing it out at the very end, not letting CB South's hopes come into fruition. And that's going to be a phenomenal map number 2 going in the favor of Penn Manor.
Oh man, you can see here, this is going to be the play of the game. Great work by Steel, the player who we saw was able to steal things off towards the end here as well. And man, just when it looked like CB South had quite a bit of fight left in their system, was maybe going to force that into a third round and into the overtime, with ice in their veins, Penn Manor are able to hold the line.
Absolutely. I mean, how do you let that happen? CB South was in their spawn, and somehow, some way, Penn Manor just brought it back, brought in the annihilation, brought in the beat, and completely dismantled CB South.
That's got to be a little deflating. I'm not going to lie. As the way that that thing broke down there in the end, Cherry, you can't help but wonder this little time between map 2 and map 3, what the mental looks like for CB South, because they really were. They were so close to buying themselves more time. Now all of a sudden they're in this situation once again. Well, I shouldn't say once again, but like we have seen so many other teams against Penn Manor, where you've got to go for the reverse sweep.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think that their mental is absolutely fine. It is CB South we're talking about here. This is one of the most fun teams I've ever had the pleasure of interacting with. They love to play, and they are not going to give up easily.
Well, we talked about it earlier. There's only 2 options when it comes to Flashpoint. There's New Junk City. We ain't going there. We're going to Suravasa. We're going to see if this might be the map where CB South has the ability to hit a 180. And maybe a 180 isn't necessarily fair, because they did really show a lot of fight into that last map. But when it comes to the results, they definitely need a 180, because you can no longer afford any more room for mistakes. You've got to play perfect Overwatch, and you've got to do it for 3 maps.
Absolutely, and we're going in, and we're going in now. This is it. I mean, you need to be able to take it. CB South, this is where they make their stand. If they can do it, they need to go for that whole 3 maps in a row. We'll see if they're able to do it, though.
All right, there's no more time to talk about it here, Cherry. It's only time to be about it. And over on the side of CB South, they've got to be about it for the entirety of this next map. It feels like to me, the minute that you give this squad a point on Flashpoint, that's all they need to have the confidence to know that they could take 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the gates opening, we have our compositions coming out immediately. Nobody's playing around here. They're sticking with these picks. Echo, Sojourn, that's what we've been seeing all day long. Maybe you see the Tracer. BoiledTDLR is not having it today. He wants to win this, and he wants to win this now. Tech playing that Mauga, something that we haven't seen him on, but we'll see if he's going to be able to bring this to 3-0.
We got to talk to Shoonem there very briefly after they won that semifinal matchup, and they said that they knew that the perfect season was a possibility. They wanted to see if they could take it the distance and close things off, and they are now just 1 map away here. Attack on, or so this is a push forward on Flashpoint for them is going to be big, because they've already gotten things started just a little bit. They've gotten the first control, and for me, I think once they get 1, they're going to get 3.
Yeah, absolutely. This is exactly where you need to bring it back here if you are CB South. You lost the first fight, but that was mostly due to Sowpoke dying early. You still can bring it back here. If you just play as a team, don't let him go off on his own. You are fantastic to be able to just take somebody out, make these fights happen, and that's exactly what CB South needs to do.
Ready 50%. There, we talked about it earlier. Flashpoint, man, you do not have time to hesitate once you lose a team fight. You gotta respawn, and then you gotta get right back into it, because if not, it could literally be 2 fights and all of a sudden the point's done.
Yeah, unfortunately though, CB South is still getting decimated with Sowpoke dying early again. BoiledTDLR as well. There's gonna be the jump in by the Mauga, and that's gonna be it with everyone dead. No kills coming out for CB South. They are having such a rough map number 3 here, with the first point already going in the favor of Penn Manor.
Already going in the favor of Penn Manor, and when you look at those stats up in the top left-hand corner, only one player has fallen thus far. Lucio just once. For the side of Penn Manor, they are proven, they are cruising, and they just found themselves 2, including Sowpoke, which should make this nice and easy.
I'd like to point out here, the first deaths for CB South have been the same 2 people every single fight in this map. It is, I mean, I don't know what's been happening, but it's Sowpoke, and then right after it's BoiledTDLR. I mean, I think Penn Manor just has them figured out.
It's interesting, right? Because I feel like usually if you see a particular target that usually goes down first in a fight, it's almost always a support player or a damage player. So the fact that it's their front line going down first shows me the confidence in the squad that they're just like, you know what? We'll focus everybody on the BP guy first because we know we're aiming for them.
Yeah, I mean, it is your Junker Queen, who is a very good target to focus early compared to the other tanks. There's going to be the cage fight coming in early. Pete is also here. BoiledTDLR getting completely taken out of his copy. There's going to be tech falling down. Unfortunately for Penn Manor, without that tank, they might get taken down. However, Shoonem has other plans, finding BoiledTDLR. Nightpeak is going to get taken out, but there's the other 2 players of CB South. Unfortunately, Sowpoke is still here, and he's going to try to make something happen, but with Reflect, it's going to be difficult. Thanatos is joining him here, but there's going to be the kill, and they're going to try and make something happen, but the point still hasn't flipped.
The point still hasn't flipped, despite the fact that even at one point they were playing without a front line, still able to keep the pressure, still able to keep the tally, and now at this point, it's 8% left. And he's got the Junker Queen on the point, trying to be a menace as far as for now. Mauga getting relatively low on the health for a moment, but Tech always finds a way to stay alive here. Both teams trying to find a way to scratch and claw, in particular in CB South, who has not found any way as far as success. And a second point now for Penn Manor. They are 1 point away from being crowned the state champions.
Yeah, I mean, I could not have seen that fight even going towards CB South at all. They both use Kitsune rushes, but with Shoonem having the Dragon Blade, you just can't beat it. And, I mean, right now, you need to change something here, because you're down 2 points. It hasn't been very close, but, I mean, I know in my heart that if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's going to be CB South.
South now going to have the biggest of mountains to climb, but I guess if you're gonna pull off the reverse sweep, you might as well pull off the double reverse sweep. The one here on Flashpoint and able to get the first map of what would need to be 3 in the reverse sweep of the series. The problem though, Penn Manor already have control of point number 3, and this first fight seems to be in their control as well.
Yeah, BoiledTDLR swapping over to the Genji here. There's going to be the overclock already being pulled out. Beat as well is getting utilized. The ult stacks are coming in. Both teams dropping the beat. But with Penn Manor going against 2 ults, they're going to be having such an advantage in there. Sowpoke going to be able to find out Nightpeak, because that's such a necessary kill. You need to be able to find these, and you need to find them out early. But nobody else is dying. You need to be killing people with your CB South. You're just letting Penn Manor regain their ults. Sowpoke has the rampage, but he can't use it. And the fight's going to go in the favor of Penn Manor.
And the Manor showing that it does not matter. They continue to find the openings. And 70% means literally one last fight if you're CB South. all the chips have to be put onto the table. You've got to go all in, and you've got to find the success here and now.
Yeah, but the question is, will they even get the touch? They have the rampage to do it. There's going to be the commanding shout coming out early. This is what you need. This is where you need to make it happen. But the cage fights here, and Sowpoke goes down early.
Sowpoke's going to go down. The cage still going to be up. Nobody else around to be able to put the pressure. And there it is. 3 straight points here on Flash Point. It is going to be Penn Manor who have been able to prove their dominance. And just like that great Drake track from 2013, able to go back to back.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for CB South, after such a great year, only losing to Penn Manor in the season, like, this has been a fantastic time for them. And I mean, CB South, they hate to have that happen to them, but Penn Manor is just so good. They have not lost a single map all year, and they did not want to change it.
All right, so now we have the tough part here, Cherry. You and we've got to figure out an MVP from that last game.
I mean,
I feel like everyone was doing a really good job as far as into their role. I'm going to give you my ideas, and then you let me know what you think. I think it's either got to be led to either Shoonem, who does a great job on really finding those openings for the rest of the squad, or I think it might have to go to Tech. What's your thought?
honestly, I have to disagree with both of those.
Okay.
I think that out of everyone in this lobby, BoiledTDLR carried his team so hard, finding opening pick after opening pick on Hollywood. On that third map, he was getting his copies. He was trying to get the plays, and that's exactly what you need your DPS to be doing. But, I mean, if we're picking somebody from the winning team, Shoonem easily gets the MVP.
Yeah, I think it's got to go towards Shoonem. Was able to find the openings, and the good news is it's a little bit of extra scratch in their pocket as well. 250, I think it is, or something like that. So you know what? That's, you know, if it's free money, it's for me. You know what I'm saying? I get to play some video games and earn a little bit of extra scratch here as well. So big congratulations out to Penn Manor for sure. But you know what? You talked about Shoonem, the MVP. So how about we chat with them real quick and see how it feels to be able to call themselves a state champion. I think we've got Shoonem right here, so we'll go ahead and bring them on in to chat with them and swap places here with Cherry J if we can, just real quick, since we got Shoonem here for us. Come on in, Shoonem. Let's go ahead and get these taken care of. I know we already chatted once. Well, technically we've chatted a couple times because you filled in with us on that second desk. But tell me, man, you guys just went in there. I don't know if I expected a sweep. I know you said you guys are trying to keep the perfect season going, but how does it feel to be able to say that you have gone back-to-back?
It's great. It's great. First Overwatch team in PIEA to go back-to-back. It's a great feeling. I'm super proud of the team. I'm super proud of everybody, my coaches. We all put in so much work. This means a lot to everyone. This is what our goal, and I'm so glad we achieved it.
2 seniors, right? So this is their last competition, and they are going to be able to say that they are 2-time champions. And not just 2-time champions. Y'all lost what? 1 series in the last 2 years or something crazy like that. Haven't dropped one all year long. Let's walk through that last series just a little bit though, because it seemed like in the first map, a little bit of a fight, but then after that, y'all just had all of the control. Was it just something where once you started to see the successes coming across, everyone kind of gets up on their feet knowing that y'all are right there on the finish line? Or were there some adjustments that needed to be made?
Well, we know exactly what they were going to do. We watched their map previously. We picked the same map. We know their weaknesses, and we've played them countless times before, and we've never dropped a map to them, and we didn't plan to drop a map today. We got our momentum on the first point. We straggled. I think we lost the first fight just for a second, but everybody realized that this is it. This is it. We need to win. This is our seniors last year, so we really just locked in. I can't say much else. We all put our heads down, played the best we can play, and the results came in.
Well, I think you guys walked in here with that one right there. So I'm going to let y'all hold that one here for a moment before we get you the second one. But to be able to say that you guys are now back-to-back champions, I'm kind of curious. For everybody that was watching at home, I'm not so worried about the doubters. You're always going to have doubters. You're always going to have haters, right? But for the supporters, whether it's the family members, the friends, what's something that you would like to say to them now that you've earned 2 of these things?
It means everything. It means the world to us. Our players, our staff, our parents supporting us, giving us the funding, the support, the car ride to Wilkes-Barre. It means the world. And we're able to do this with the help of all those amazing people.
Mention all the people that it takes, whether it's the parents to be able to drive and get you to where you're going, whether it's the, obviously you've got teachers who are helping put into work to make sure that you guys have the program and have someone overseeing everything here as well. So I want to thank you so much for taking some time. I know you want to get in here and celebrate with your squad for being able to call yourselves the champion, but also want to say, man, you guys did it with some class. Sometimes when you see people who walk in with the trophy, you're like, oh, here these guys go again. The big old egos finding a way to fit their way through the doors. But instead, man, you guys have been world class the entire way. I mean, no over talking. I mean, obviously proud to be champions. We could hear it through the walls and stuff, but it's never been over the top. You guys truly have been world class. So thank you so much for that as well.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to have to figure out a way that we can do this. I'm going to hold your mixer here for a moment. All right. That way you can hold your back-to-back champions here. Congratulations so much. I'm also going to take this headphone from you. That way you don't have to balance these things. I'm going to let you go ahead and hang out with your rest of your teammates here, and you guys enjoy. All right. Guys, that is going to be doing it as far as us here today from Wilkes University, man. But this isn't it for our spring championship. We still have a whole nother day tomorrow. Now, of course, if you are an Overwatch fan, that is, do it as far as for our Overwatch for the year. Talked with the directors earlier. We got some big announcements. So if you're an Overwatch and Overwatch only fan, make sure you're sticking tuned over on social medias as well as YouTube for some exciting announcements. If you're just an esports fan, if you're an esports junkie like me, we're only halfway there, man. We've got some more stuff tomorrow. We have ourselves some Super Smash Bros. We have individuals as well as we also have the teams as well. So should be a lot of fun here. So make sure you guys are keeping an eye out for that. I think we're starting around the same time here. I believe it is 11 o'clock tomorrow. And I do want to confirm with one thing. I think I had heard something in my ear. Did I hear another interview? Is that correct? All right. So we are going to have ourselves another interview. So make sure that you are hanging tight for that here. But again, while we do have a moment, I wanted to just thank all of the teachers and staff really across all of our schools here at PIEA, as far as also with the eSport company. 2 different leagues here in the state of Pennsylvania. Each and every school does require some attention, whether it be, from a volunteer, from a teacher or someone like that, to make sure that these kids have the opportunity. And this is what it's all about, man. We get together. Everybody that you've heard from today has talked about, the environment and how much it is really kind of building up the positivity and things like that there. So make sure that we always keep in mind that that is what's most important when it comes to esports here. I do believe we still got one more interview coming on in here. We're going to be chatting with, it looks like a couple of players from CB. So Sowpoke, congratulations. What up, guys? What up? Obviously, I'm sure you guys would have preferred that we got to be able to chat with you guys hoisting the trophy. But I do got to say, man, y'all still put on a heck of a show. To be able to say that you're top 2 in the state at what you do is absolutely awesome. But I also feel like I'm talking to 2 people who nobody knows because I haven't asked your name. What's you guys' name?
So my name's Peter. I'm Thanatos in the game.
Okay.
Good.
My name's Noah. I'm Sowpoke.
All right, so Sowpoke. All right, so we've got 2 of our players here. I got to ask, what's the journey been like this year? I mean, basically sitting at the top behind these guys, but it seemed like nobody else was really able to stand with you. What was it like to continue to make sure that you pushed forward and got better each and every week?
Yeah, so we started out with a tournament win in PIEA Fall Brawl. That was awesome, but Penn Manor wasn't playing in that, so that was kind of a given for us. We beat Garnet Valley in the grand finals. Hopefully, some of you guys are watching. I hope you see where we are now, by the way. But then the regular season, the regular season was a lot of fun. We really improved as a team. Like, we went in, Braden and Christian already had no experience on Overwatch whatsoever. And they came in, they did a really good job because Christian's a Valorant player, so he could play the hit scan role. Braden picked up Kiriko really well, and I didn't even play Lucio before the season even started. So it's been a wild ride. The regular season only 2 maps we dropped were at Penn Manor. So, I mean, coming in, we're really not that mad at the loss, but the journey's been fantastic. We really grew as friends, as a team. It's been a great time.
I love that. Talking about how it really is more important about the journey than the destination sometimes. So I'm kind of curious. You guys took the win in the fall brawl. The only losses that we took thus far has been to Penn Manor. How many students are you guys going to have coming back for the roster next season?
Well, Boiled Toddler, Thanatos, and Sowpoke, we're all graduating.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this was a great last hurrah, like getting to play at this LAN, but we do we have some people coming up. We don't have a JV team, but we found a lot of people that enjoy playing Overwatch.
Okay.
Christian and Brayden, they're still going to be there. They're fantastic players. They're going to be great leaders. And I think CV South next year is going to be an underdog for sure.
I love it. I love it. Sounds like you have a lot of confidence in the squad, despite the fact that we're losing quite a few. Always love to see when you've got plenty of talent kind of waiting in the rings. But I'm kind of curious, is this going to be the end as far as you for competing in esports?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, I'm directly, like, when we're done here, we're going to go out to dinner, and while we're at dinner, I'm going into the Overwatch Esports Discord, LFT, and we'll see if I can play for a team in college for sure.
I love it. I love it. All right, well, let's go ahead and chat with Sowpoke here real quick before we get up on out of here. And I'm going to have you take a step on in so everyone can see your pretty face as well, because our camera's only about this wide. But again, also, just like I said, congratulations on making it this far. I mean, top 2 in the state, man. That's definitely an achievement. And especially in this fashion, I mean, really the only losses that you guys took to, not just in a series, but even when it comes to map points and stuff like that, was to the best in the state. As far as for your journey here, what's it kind of been like you mentioned growing pains for the team to get here. What's that journey been like for you?
It's been a very fun journey. We've had a lot of players. We have a sub who couldn't make it today, but he's been a great support just to be there to make the team feel more whole. And we had a player a couple of weeks ago named PJ. Again, he unfortunately couldn't make it, but he was also a great unit in our team, and he helped us push through, and it was a phenomenal season. I loved the whole thing.
I love one of the big things that we seem to keep hearing from players is the team environment and kind of all the things that you love about regular sports, you can find in esports as well. You know, you might not necessarily be going out and tackling people or putting a ball into, net or anything like that. But everything else, it requires the teamwork, being able to be a part of something special, being a part of playing your role. I was kind of curious for you, obviously, as the tank, playing your role sometimes just means, hey, I got to go in there and do the best I can. I can't worry about nobody else behind me because I just have to make some space. Against a team like this where the space just doesn't seem to be there, how do you keep that same motivation to keep your head up and continue to play that role?
Every fight is a new opportunity to win. And especially in certain situations where you got something going, it feels really good when you just slowly see people fall down one by one, and you're going to win that team fight.
Love to see the dominoes start to fall. It's kind of like anything in life. Once all the hard work starts to pay off and you see the fruits of your labor, it definitely feels very, very good. So I would also like to end it with the same sort of question. Is this going to be the end that we see from you when it comes to competing in esports?
Definitely not. I got a scholarship for Arcadia University, and I'm going to be playing Overwatch for them in the fall.
I love it. I love it. Well, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Before we get the 2 of y'all out of here, is there anything else that you guys would like to say for the CB South fans that are maybe watching from home?
Go Titans!
Go Titans! Oh, yeah, one more thing.
I'll bring you in since you're chatting, because I think you're out of scene here real quick. I'll bring you right over here.
Yep. Shout out Lil Pothole. We know you're watching. We love you. Please keep making music.
All right, I love it. Another rapper shout out here.